sure, but he gets a little bit crazy sometimes. So
He does.
I'm pretty sure that Collapse is not gonna be going for it. But I mean, you've got me intrigued for sure. But I would assume
my main point being there are options for your build. So let's see which Collapse does it. Or does he have a build of his own? Hell, that'd be also pretty cool.
I mean, the builds that you mentioned, I would be very surprised if there's like a 4th, 5th one that he comes up with. Yadro.
That's the entire team. Snake King frozen with an apple. Caught with the Sprout, but has the Quelling Blade, which you need. And that'll be end of that gank. 2 Quelling Blades only in the team, Batrider and the TA. So Pango Clock, well, Pango doesn't probably need that. The Clockwork Silencer don't have a Quelling Blade of their own.
And that you're consistently calling the Blood Grenade an apple, and you know, apples, they keep people healthy. This thing, it kills people.
They do.
So.
They give 50 HP when you hold on to them. They also hurt when you throw them at an enemy. Have you ever thrown anybody with an apple?
No. We do tomatoes here.
Have you ever been hit with an apple in the head?
I
want to
say no. But I would assume that there are apples that would hurt quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, now
Skitter has 14 stacks of napalm on top, by the way. Collapse almost got a first blood right away. Trying to snipe as well. We're trying to push with the power cogs to get Skitter to move closer to Collapse for another napalm. Could have been the end of the DK.
I want to see how well Rue uses the kick of the cogs, because we saw 9 class was just way too good with those. So I want to see if Rue matches up in any ways, because in terms of what I've been seeing, the 9 class Clockwork has looked the best in this tournament thus far, even though he's out.
One of the big stories going into this grand finals, obviously, is the Falcons' lower bracket run all the way from the first phase. 2-1 on Aurora, 2-1 on Parivision. Earlier on today, 2-0 versus Liquid. And with all those wins that they've picked up, they are also leading Team Spirit in the grand finals. How far can this momentum take them during the course of this evening? The grand finals did start fairly late into the evening, so if this is a full stretch on Game 5, you know, Game 5 could be a very... could be some exhausted players, you know. Was looking at Parivision playing yesterday, still at like 1 AM or something, and we saw some pauses literally on camera. Satanic is like, okay, see ya guys, I'm going to the toilet. It's like after 50 minutes of a match, he just leaves.
Yeah, I thought that you were gonna be making some joke about Satanic being young and it's bedtime, but okay, makes sense. I feel like though, are we gonna go super late into the evening if it's Game 5? I guess not too late. It's not gonna be the worst thing in the world. Of course, depends on how long the games are gonna be. But when we look at the standings,
there it is. You know, depends how long the games last. We have 49 minutes for a Game 1, so if this is the pace, we'll, you know, local time midnight will probably be the finish. So long evening for the players, and you know, these guys already started pretty early on today as Collapse stretching his limits, hoping that they can trade Skitter. Malrine will get the kill on Collapse first, and maybe even a second here. Snaking is the one to get the last right click in. So getting that Furion involved.
He got the urn, right? So now he has the charges as well. That's huge.
Secondary fight in bottom two with the Inkswell. They got the stun in Yatoro, but Maposhka's been poking quite a lot with the suffering in silence. 8% might not feel like a lot of extra damage on silence targets, but on a Grimstroke, that is a pretty soft guy to hit.
They thought about going for the TA there, but then they saw Fairy Fire, Healing Lotus. Not a target, just let it go. And, you know, next time around, the Nature's Prophet will have a TP towards the bottom lane if need be. So that kind of a move from Falcons is going to be ending up in a kill. Considering that the Mars has 15 wand charges, he's ready for battle. He does have the mana to set it up.
Three seconds cooldown on teleport. Let's see if Falcons want to use that for another move with the Nature's Prophet. Usually, you know, the level 2 is the first time you look for a gank, be it core or support. But is there going to be another move from Malrine happening here before he hits his level 6 ulti?
Probably the best idea is to always TP when the Batrider is going for an aggressive move on the top lane. You take away the Batrider's early game there in the top, and it is going to be crippling the side of Team Spirit in terms of what they're going to be doing. They're going to have one hero, which is the Penguin, and the Bat. The second he starts running in, he's not going to be tanky enough. You can just kill him.
Yeah, and he's already resorting to cutting the creep wave and pulling it all the way back to the tier 1 tower because he cannot challenge this DK. And we already saw how that attempt backfired a bit.
He's going to be waiting for the stacks as well. That's a way to come back with the Bat, and a much needed one. He still hasn't decided on his first round of items, so I'm not sure what he wants to go for. He did go for the Tranquil Boots, so no bots.
Yeah, we talked about those stacking numbers between the two. There were 14 and 16 between the two. Falcons resorting to higher stacking numbers than Team Spirit, only marginally. Not really a difference between their statistics on those. But this is definitely a game where Spirit has to do some stacking and make sure they clean those up too. Elreen did make his move to bottom. He did get a kill that would put him a bit closer to his vessel, but as he's gone, Snaking has been given the time to take over the mid lane for now, get some XP. Core's doing the killing and the supports are doing the farming. Elreen stacks, Rue finds these stacks.
I mean, they've got a TA. They can try to contest.
They're both, yeah, 3-on-1. Rick trying to make an escape. Get the stun out. The Cog push. Is it a bit too much? Cog push again. The last word
should kill him.
It should be enough. There we go. Taro had to tank the tower a bit to get vision.
Spear misses.
For Maboshka to get that, and Spear just completely off the mark.
I think Malrine, when he used the Sprout, it moved the hero a little bit to the left, and then Amar missed it. If the Sprout hadn't been used, then he would have get the connection. But you know what? If you're Malrine, you're probably looking at Amar and telling him, "Yo, dude, just wait for the Sprout. Then your spear cannot be missed." And
yeah,
unfortunately,
I mean, we know what Falcons is at all, chat. I wonder what they're like in allies, chat. Going on against each other, Snaking getting hurt by Morel's first usage of his ult. And inside the cogs, they'll secure Snaking, and that Pogna Morel will hopefully get this stack for himself. You know, that's probably the aim of this entire invasion, was to get some stacks. They found a kill instead. He'll be able to clean that one up while Yotoro's being chased. Furion shows up. The spear comes out before the Quelling Blade usage. And all the way under the tower we go. Another refraction. He will not have another. So Amar is full-on locked in right now to commit for this kill. Dust comes out. Yotoro will go down. Both the initial refraction and the second cast. And as that runs out, Falcons smells blood in the water. Go for the dive.
he just wait for the Sprout. It's easy. He did actually cut the tree before the spear came out, but not the right one, right?
Not the right one, yeah.
He cut the one on the left a bit. I'm not sure though. It's very hard to even get the angle, right? You have to get lucky with the way that the Sprout is being created and the way that the Mars is positioning himself. Because even if you cut the one that you should latch on, there is a chance that you latch on the one next to it. So it's a bit of a bummer.
Moshko able to open up the camp here for Yotoro, farming up the triangle right now. Also a notification about the grand finals of the last 3 Fissure Universe tournaments, Harry. You've been talking about those stomps previously. And it looks like every episode, we're at episode 6. So if only episode 1 had a 5-map series, is it time to, you know, turn a page?
It's time to repeat it.
Elreen deep in on Miposhka. One more hit needed there. He'll get the kill, but will he die? Will Falcons get a response out of it? Looks like this Nature's Prophet's able to walk out. Morel doesn't have any spells available anymore. His raw right clicks might not be enough as the cogs were in the mix there with the arena. 2 kills for Falcons. Quick snipe there by the Pango with a swashbuckle. Snaking, you know, broke his ankles there on the stairs. Helpless to crawl out of there.
Yeah, he couldn't get the Decrepify off. You get it off, no physical damage, and you're going to be fine. But I'm really loving how Malrine is playing this. He already has the vessel, so he feels tanky enough. to just TP in and stand his ground, and we know the rest of your team is coming to save you. It's really nice. Collapse, yeah, it's gonna be the drums for the Batriders. So Team Spirit, they want to change the pace of this game and be the ones that are running towards the side of Falcons, and I really like that, because if Falcons are the ones setting things up, Melrine is always gonna be ready. Whereas if you run in first, then then it's gonna be a lot harder for the Nature's Prophet to actually find the positioning in which he's gonna be feeling confident enough. Do I TP on top of them? Do I TP next to my team when they're just running at us? It's not easy to make that decision.
Definitely isn't. But Mars just happens to walk in on Rue. Clockwork is dropping the cogs on Amar. Amar is about to drop here. Silenced up. Arcane Curse ticking, but not for enough damage. That's still level 3.
What a stroke of fate.
But he's regenerating out of it. And Crit will probably drop here. One more extra hit required. Meanwhile, another fight was taking place as Collapse fought with Snaking. And Maureen came in for the 2 versus 1. So 2 kills for Spirit, 1 kill for Falcon, 6-6 on the board.
The only reason that Amar managed to survive is that the Stroke of Fate with the was used so well with the Grimstroke that it connected onto both of the supports. So he slowed them both down so they can't get on top of the Mars. If he missed just one of them, I think the hit onto the Mars comes and we see a completely different scenario.
You notice something on net worth? All 6 cores are inside 500 gold of each other's.
Yeah, we don't see that too often. You know, especially because the Batrider at the start, he had a little bit of trouble. Collapse died 2 times, but I guess 2 kills will let you keep yourself relevant in terms of farm.
And that comes back to the topic of when does Team Spirit group up and go? Like, you have the Templar Assassin, the good old power spike timing we usually talk about if he has a good game. Yatoro's lane wasn't that great, though. I was looking at his CS was a lot lower compared to his Falcons counterparts. Like, they were at 75 to 80 last hits when Yatoro was barely breaking 60. So he's like 15 CS behind already. Not a huge difference, but enough that he hasn't been able to hit lane creeps. He's been mostly farming up the triangle, the stacks that have been made there. So having Batrider with drums, and then the TA build coming in all together with the Blink and the Deso, and maybe even having a Dragon Lance or a Hurricane Pike, like Dragon Lance he already has, having those items together and then getting to play. Falcons will hit somewhat of a similar timing too, because the net worth margins are so small between each others.
Speaking about timings, the Dragonite did buy his Blink Dagger, but the smoke was unsuccessful in terms of getting a kill, but they did get a tower in the end. However, he did reveal his Blink Dagger, so now Team Spirit are going to be aware that this Dragonite is looking for a fight.
So expect even more farming for the next few minutes. Falcons maybe want to, you know, find an opening here and there. Maybe even that mid-tier 2 tower would start to look a bit appealing if they find a pick-off somewhere.
That's what you want to do. They have 3 points in the Phantom's Embrace, which is quite cool. You don't have a lot of attack speed on Team Spirit, and with the Crapify on top of it, this spell is gonna be huge. Not something that we see too often.
Yep, instead of 6 hits, you need 9.
Or instead of 2, you need 3. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of 2, you need 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Dota maths work.
Yeah. But yeah, it's you know, if somebody doesn't want to read the full spell, sometimes you can make a mistake. Collapse. His smoke did break, but I think Amar is out. Collapse is very farmed. I mean, he's the highest level.
He's caught up very nicely with everybody else. Like, he's been the least farmed core, but he's not like behind with a big margin. Now fighting in the river, Rue is struggling to kill that bug, and we just talked about Phantom's Embrace level 3 that spends all of Clockwork's time. From 100 to 0, all he got was a bug.
Very crappy heroes in terms of killing the Phantom's Embrace on the side of Spirit. You know, it's one of those games where I wouldn't hate like a Manta on a TA or something along those lines. Just ways to remove it without really having to attack it, because it's gonna be a problem. TA is not the type of hero that wants to be hitting it. Batrider doesn't want to be hitting at all.
Yeah.
Pango, if he gets silenced, there is a good chance you just lose the fight. And I mean, I'm not even gonna talk about the supports of Team Spirit. obviously.
Well, they're going to go for the straight-up fight. Crit bought a smoke thinking that we're going to go together with Skitter, but Skitter just decides to straight-up TP to the T1 tower and jump straight at Collapse. Him and Malrine, well, Malrine in the end will get the kill. 404 on the Furion. So no smoke even needed for this play.
One thing that Team Spirit are doing a good job at is keeping this mid lane tower alive. If that tower wasn't alive, it would have been much easier for Falcons to invade. This way, they're only getting kills on their side of the map, where Team Spirit are just playing a little bit more aggressively, expecting that there is a potential to die. And, you know, a second ago, or 2 minutes ago, I said, oh, Collapse is so farmed that his net worth hasn't moved for 2 minutes, basically. So he doesn't feel that farmed any longer. He also didn't even get half a level since we said that. But he is getting close to the Blink Dagger. So Team Spirit, they recognize they need a playmaker of their own. The True's hookshot is just not going to cut it.
Yeah, and I think the idea with the bat in general was I can play this top area freely and poke that tower, finish it off in a moment, but because you mentioned that Blink on the DK came in early, they backfired on the first gank that they just sent the DK right away to protect the tower. Spirit had to send 3 heroes top this time around. Actually, sorry, 4 heroes top to finish that T1, so they can follow up on a smoke play. Global Silence, hookshot ready. They do not want crit. They want something maybe a bit beefier. If they can find the Nature's Prophet, that's like the hardest hero to find on the map. But if you know anything about Furion farming patterns, you might run into him. However, Skitter, DK form is
they know
still
DK's
running.
there.
They saw with the ward that he's around, and instead they're just gonna have to suffice with crit because the smoke's running out. Morel joins in as a 4th hero for this. And that's half a minute without the Grimstroke. That mid tower is also at 100 HP, so Team Spirit, they only finished that T1 a moment ago. They'll get to the mid one too. And already snaking, working to deny it.
He's not gonna get it. Oh, no way. He's actually
and now he's gonna get lassoed.
It.
Oh my god. That's so unfortunate for snaking if he dies. Amar is coming in as his bodyguard, gets thrown away with the flame break, and he dies. Snaking dead. All he wanted to do was just deny an extra bit of gold from Team Spirit. Now you gave double. They still got the tower and they killed the Pugna.
I mean, with your low 87 damage and your pretty much no attack speed, you're standing there and trying to get the tower down. They also saw the Blink Dagger on the Batrider just a second ago, so that was let's say unnecessary, but he probably didn't see anything good for himself to do on the map.
Yeah, let's say optimistic.
Yep.
I like the idea on Malrine with the snipe there. He just picked up the shard, and with the Curse of the Old Growth, you can actually do quite a lot of damage if you get it inside the Sprout. And there's the rest of the squad from Falcons to follow up. They finish off the Silencer under the tier 2. Yule's ready on the Mars, so anybody found will get speared. Collapse is trying to TP away, and nobody gets around there fast enough, so Collapse is going to be safe.
It doesn't matter, they pushed them away from the tower, so Skitter is going to be going on it. We already talked about how important it is for this DK to open up the mid lane tower so his Blink Dagger can really feel dangerous, especially now with an Orchid. And look at Spirit, they're putting so much emphasis not only on that mid lane tower, even if it dies, they want to have good vision around that area.
We placed down the Obs Ward right under it so they could see where Falcons is moving in, but there's not an opportunity for Guitaro or anybody else to get involved. So we're still going to continue farming that TA. Blink 18 minutes in on the clock now, so Team Spirit will soon reach their first actual big timing. Still haven't seen Global Silence being used as well, and Falcons knows that very well.
With the spot.
1-1. DPs are coming in though, but can that DK get in time? Crit's buying a lot of space here. And here come, oh, good global there. There was about to be a spear play by the Mars, so they'll just get Rue for it instead of catching Morel.
I'm really liking this from Team Spirit. They know our tower in the mid lane has fallen, so right now Falcons are gonna be on full-on aggression. So how do you counter aggression? You don't, if you just ward defensively and try to cut your losses, then at some point Falcons are going to push you too far back on your side of the map and you're not going to have any control. But the best way is go and make aggressive plays on the map. Beat some of them that are forcing out TPs, be it just the support kill, it doesn't matter. But for the next couple of minutes, Team Spirit needs to delay, and the best way to do it is just deep aggression on the enemy side of the map, with your cores being cautious about it and always looking for a way to escape.
Toro's blink is coming in, but Marina and Amar already start the fight on Collapse. Batrider to drop first. Miposhka is on the run. And this fight never gets to build up for Team Spirit. They were about to send Heroes bottom, but they're like 15 seconds too early in there, so Falcons, they strike first.
Two nice kills. The thing is, they're on the bottom side of the map, so you're not necessarily gonna get something huge out of that one. But either way, this part of the game for Falcons is the one where you should be increasing your lead. That's the thing that you want to get. So it doesn't matter where you're killing them. It doesn't matter the objectives that you're getting. It more matters that you're getting ahead of the opponent so that you are ready for the big timing of Team Spirit, which is going to be this TA.
Hook shot in on Amar, caught in the river, 3v1. Every fight we've seen so far in this game has been, okay, Yatoro's going to get tossed the hell out of the way. Roshan's like, yeah, this is my hole. Amar is still dead anyway. Tormentor will be taken at the same time.
They are coming to fight it.
Will get away with it. Collapse. Oh, he reads the blink right, but he doesn't get anybody instead. Falcons get away. So Amar's life is given for the greater good.
Yeah, beautiful from Falcons. That was very fast. Also a very nice read from both of the teams that is where a fight could happen. Falcons knew that they were in no position to take it versus the Global, versus the Rolling Thunder, especially when their main team fighter is out of the way. So nice way to escape, though. I think Spirit have hit their timing, and I'm not 100% certain that Falcons are ready for this. I think if Team Spirit are initiating, they're wiping the floor with you.
Falcons knows that very well. We saw that play down in bottom before the TA had his blink delivered. Now they're teleporting bottom again to find another target. It is Rue. Skitter walks out of the stun, so Clockwork drop. There was an attempt on stealing the Shrine of Wisdom, but Skitter was the one to pick it up. Toro gets the other. He's level 16 on the TA. He's 2 levels ahead of anybody else on the server at the moment.
If you look at this game, like every single kill, it's so close to it not happening. A lot of the, like both of the teams have to be 100% on point, fast, no hesitation to get even a measly support kill. I mean, how close was that Clockwork to actually TPing out through? Very nice read of the situation, but Falcons just a little bit too fast.
Skitter could really use that BKB. That recipe is not too far away. Team Spirit looks like they're still going to wait for at least the 4-staff Arcane Pike to be ready on Yatoro. They haven't still made a move on the enemy side of the map or towards Roshan. They don't even have any wards down bottom, so maybe they're playing for the 25-minute top Roshan. We'll see. The next 2 minutes, if Team Spirit decides to play for Roshan, we'll see a lot of wards happening down in the bottom half of the map. So maybe with this smoke, they can claim control of it. Morel, Blink, Diffusal, Pango also hurts like hell. And DK's 500 gold short from that BKB. Falcons could end up in not the most optimal fight.
Clockwork has a ward. He wants to place a ward and find a nice opportunity, but I think they spotted snaking moving around the bottom lane. Not really a kill that you want.
No, that's not what you want. Not at all. Skitter's gonna get away with dodging this gank, but also finishing his BKB. But they did place down the vision down in the triangle at least. Team Spirit will not find anything. They're TPing bottom now because the smokes are running out, and they were aware of Snaking's position. However, he's too fast.
The way that these teams are dodging is so nice. I don't know if you're looking at it, but Falcons, they had the early timing, and Spirit were doing a good job dodging them. Now it is Team Spirit's time to fight, and Falcons are dodging them so much. The next time is going to be when Falcons have multiple items to deal with the Global Silence. That's going to be BKBs, which on the DK is going to be done right now, but you need one on the Nature's Prophet, and Mars is going for a Lotus Orb. So that is the timing where Falcons are going to be feeling a little bit stronger than Team Spirit.
Yeah. That is the theme right now. From one timing to another. Collapse. Unable to grab Snaking. He is also finishing his BKB. Batrider will feel protected, but still remember, those BKBs are only of such importance for that next team fight because of the global silence. That is still 4.5 seconds of a silence duration to the first BKB usages of 9, so lucky to get quit the spell.
I mean, they've got that BKB. If they get here in time, it's going to be a problem for Team Spirit. They might not have all of their BKBs, but they've got Blink on the Mars and this BKB on the DK. They can most definitely fight.
They are very close right now. Skitter in position. Orchid also ready. If you can just get it on Collapse, he jumps straight onto the Batrider, and he will not get a chance to recover from this. Global is still held. Poshka will not pop it just quite yet. The Pango ulti pushes Nature's Prophet down to the ground, and the Grimstroke ulti. Morel is rolling on the spot. The tires are screeching, but the man's going nowhere as Skitter will get a triple going on the DK. Yatoro TPing out. He'll get away, but 4 heroes looks to go down as Morel hasn't got anywhere to run from Amar, the F. You know what that F stands for. Roshan decides to take the long walk, so Falcons is going to have to wait another 15 seconds until they can start finishing Roshan. Team Spirit, do they still go for round 2? Clockwork Hookshot is still on cooldown, even if Falcons gets in the pit first.
Falcons are playing some killer Dota there, and this is why I was surprised that Team Spirit, when they first placed that ward in the enemy triangle, they didn't immediately
go try.
In for
Collapse still has that BKB. They could still go for this, and he goes into the pit, goes straight onto Roshan, but did he get the lasso off yet? He's not using it at all. Roche is dead. Skitter picks it up. Collapse will die. His 9-second BKB down the drain. Spirit won't get there in time. Falcons victory number 2 inside the last minute. Rue getting caught by Maureen. There's the push from Rue, the hook shot to safety, dodges the spear and the incoming DK. And now Dragon Knight holds on to an Aegis.
Today, Falcons are playing better. There's no doubt about it, right? It still stems from that first game and the way that they're baiting in Team Spirit. And Team Spirit, in some of their decision making, they're a little bit hesitant. And those small mistakes that Falcons weren't punishing in the first series that they played in this tournament, now they're punishing it. That hesitation of Team Spirit to not go for the Roche at the 23-minute mark, but wait for the 24-minute mark. I'm not really sure what they were even doing in that 1 minute. The lanes were in a good position. They could have went for it. It gives time for the DK to get the BKB, and Falcons, they get there in time. Now they have the lead, the real one, and the timing of Team Spirit is completely skewed.
Great read there from Skitter as well, blinking in the trees, spotting the Clockwork. Maureen locates him with the Curse of the Old Growth. Allows them to finish off yet another kill. Glyph forced out. That will get refreshed as that tier 2 tower falls. The next one will be for high ground then.
So right now, Spirit, they have to rely on Yatoro getting his Daedalus. Of course, Pango Axe is going to be contributing a lot to the damage as well, but Team Spirit have to make sure that some of these heroes on Falcons just get obliterated in a second.
They're not stopping. They continue going in. That DK form is still up for a few seconds, so even if the tier 3 doesn't go down fully, it will be seriously damaged.
They want the Glyph. That is what you're gunning for here. It's not an easy thing to get, and Spirit are usually very patient with it, so yeah, Falcons, they did their best, didn't get the Glyph, but definitely got a couple of TPs back to the base.
$1,300 damage dealt on a tier 3 tower. Falcons backing out, 9k lead. Gabe and Graphs are given a 71% to 29. There's still a lot for Team Spirit to play here. Daedalus is ready on the TA, but Crit is making plays by himself. The global silence comes out, but it doesn't matter by the looks of it. Team Spirit are scrambling to get this fight going, but Yatoro is down already. Mirel only got to disrupt the backline a bit, but 3 heroes dead. Make that 4. Falcons are here to play. Oh my goodness, Team Spirit. For this entire group stage, since EWC to here, this is a game where they are just receiving. They're just taking hits. They're getting punched real hard by Falcons.
That was beautiful, and that is one of a fight highlights that you're definitely going to be finding on the FISSURE socials, !F in the chat. And other than the current tournaments, there are previous ones, and of course there's going to be the future ones as well on our social media. So make sure that you're following all of them. But also, Spirit, they wanted to go out and clear out their jungle while there's no dragon form, but they get surprised by Crit, who pretty much single-handedly wins that fight, gets the ulti off, then the double stun from the Dragonite, and at that point, the fight is just over. You're seeing that the TA doesn't have the luxury to go for a BKB. He needs more and more damage in this game, and without the BKB inside of the arena, you are dead 100% of the time.
Really puts Team Spirit in an awkward position right now, because all of the item timings that they've been picking up through this game, they're just not getting a fight going. They're either missing a piece, they're getting caught by Falcons starting these fights. Could this finally be it? Can Team Spirit finally get a fight going on? Lasso beginner on Skitter. Still has the Aegis, by the way, but the Hurricane Pike will do damage. Enough to take the DK down. Still has his BKB, and Dragon Form's coming off cooldown right now. They're going to focus on Yatoro, stuck inside the Sprout. They're just going to annihilate this TA. Gone for 70 seconds. And Falcons, they don't really need too much on top of that. That's the biggest kill that they could get. The big damage dealer out of the way for a very, very long time.
Spirits are such a no bullshit team. They're like, I'm not gonna stay in my base and wait for you. I'm gonna go and fight right now, because our timing is gonna be lost even more later on in the game. I mean, sure, it looks like they're just giving kills away from Falcons, but that is the most optimal play to just fight as fast as possible. However, the gold lead at this moment, Falcons have gotten themselves to a point where it seems that Team Spirit, they look helpless.
Helpless is a pretty good word to use right now. Falcons is just simply better in this series as a whole. Game 1 and now Game 2 in a row. We might be looking at championship point for Falcons 3 maps in a row. Or 3 games in a row, let's put it that way. As the mid-racks are down, 31 minutes in. We might not be here all midnight long if this is the pace.
Spirit has one more fight left in them, and I don't think they're gonna be waiting too long to go for it. There's if they do, then Team Falcons can just reset, and if that's the case, I'm trying to scroll through the Spirit heroes.
They don't have a smoke and shop either.
Okay, so then they're just gonna wait, I guess, for a collapse Aghanim Scepter and hope that some Psy Blades are gonna be able to assist, but at this point, nothing is in your hands. The only thing that you can do is hope that an opening is given to you. Even creating that opening is going to be tough.
That is a shard picked up. Tormentor down. Not a huge shard in terms of... well, I mean, that was the only one that was missing in the team, because the big ones have already been claimed.
Usually it's solid, right? Because you shove out the waves a bit, but in a game where you already have 2 lanes of super creeps, there's pretty much no usage for this.
Yeah, and they're draft in general, right? DK, Furion, and Mars as well. Like, they're great at wave clear. So that being said, see what Team Spirit still has in them, because right now, without a smoke or anything, they're just caught inside their base, and Collapse is caught outside by Malrine. 12-0-12. Highlighted as last year, probably the best player, not of the team, but of the entire Dota Tier 1 scene. Like, Malrine is starting to hit his stride once again when it comes to the important big games. I'm excited to see how Malrine plays also in TI. And they do have the buy now back up on the Batrider, but what good will it do? Collapse buys in.
Lincoln's broken.
And another Lincoln supplied.
Yeah, they have too many of them.
Using their weapons against that Doom from game number 1, and now doing the same strat again. Lincoln's on Skitter, Lincoln's on Amar.
Collapse is 400 gold away from the Axe. 400 gold now. He needs more than 1,000. It just hurts. That double lasso was something that you could rely on. Hope maybe you just lasso a target that doesn't have the Lincolns, and your team focuses the other one, because the Lincolns doesn't help for the secondary target of the Aghanim's lasso. But well, I just want to see how much priority they're gonna give him for that one, and even if they do, he's still gonna need some time.
I love how Amar's build, minus the Blink and the duels, he's done the Lotus and the Lincolns back-to-back games on 2 separate heroes, while his carry also has another Lincoln's. 2 games with very similar types of inventories. Just a lot of spell block. Well, at least he's got his own vision in an area you'd suspect they don't actually hold on to when 2 lanes of racks are down. They are trying to hunt collapse on the map once again. Are they? They're not fighting this army. No, they're not. Naposhka spotted. Collapse is just there to try and cut the wave, and he's been spotted once again. Firefly to the gate. TK is not gonna get there in time. Net worth deficit continues to grow. Amar fighting with Yatoro for a second. Snaking is there to back him up. He just drops the arena into the spear. Melreen will follow. Hook shot onto the Nature's Prophet. Still holding onto his BKB. He's not in risk. He doesn't care about this pesky clockwork just, you know, hugging his feet. I don't know what kind of pictures he was taking there when he was next to the Nature's Prophet, but we don't need to know more about that because this game looks like it's fully over pretty much. 4 heroes dead on the map. Silencer is coming back up with the Pango, but it's going to be mega creeps. Spirit still thinks that they have something to play for. Maybe one team fight, like you said, it still might be in them, but they're not getting that. They're not getting that fight together, and that's Megas.
Even the Rolling Thunder was forced out. Yeah, right now, it's probably some discussions happening. Okay, no, Rube wants to fight. Let's go.
Give it one more try.
Falcons. If this was Tundra time from Skitter and Snaking, they would go back for Roche. But I don't think it's so unnecessary right now to do that I don't know if they'll play it safe.
Looks like they need to. Maybe what they're looking for here is force a buyback off of TA, but they're gonna find out soon that TA doesn't have one. 20 seconds still down. Tier 4s are out of the way. It is some kind of high-level thinking here. Amar will just raise his shield and face Team Spirit. And now, Falcons, you've got...
You know what? I feel like Spirit are playing at the same level that they've been throughout this tournament. I just think that Falcons have leveled up. This is... I mean, today they beat Liquid 2-0, and it definitely wasn't easy, but they just played very, very clean Dota. And here versus Team Spirit, they're playing very, very clean Dota as well. So